Hi everyone, welcome to LoadMagic.ai, putting the fun back into performance testing one tool at a time. Today, we're going to look at a live beta demo stroke finding live bugs flow, which should show warts and all the whole process from beginning to end, where we got to at the moment with LoadMagic. So let's have a look. So before you load it up, right, it's going to look more like this, right? And then you do your, when you click on import, this window will come up. And now you've got two options, two files in here. So you've got your HAR file, and this is optional. This is your transaction markers. So if you've used our plugin when you were recording, which I can show you as well if you want, then you can, it will automatically set some transactions based on, you manually selecting them when you record. So, right, where's the demo? There you go. So it should give you then this window, and then you can select things that you're not interested in. You just don't tick them and just select the one you want. And there's some filters on here. So that I just tend to leave those. They're normally quite good. They filter out the stuff that is not really required for correlating the script, for having a good user flow. Like I said, you can edit this and then just click ingest, and then it should import. And so I think you've done this, but then it will generate this window over here, see? And when these lights are green, then you know you're connected to the agents. So that sort of proves the connectivity to the agents. And then here you should have quite a lot more variables, right? Because in here, if it's working, you should see this number of variables in the variables import. Now, so when you run it and it's not broken, so you can just tick send errors to LoadMagic in the middle, and then run it, and it will automatically handle any errors. So let's see if we've done that. There should be errors because we haven't correlated it. Let's see what happens. All right, so you can see errors have been sent automatically over here. And now she started to process it. So she's found some candidates and they're starting to be correlated. So it's happening automatically now. So she's doing it. So she's inserting some JSON path extractors and then replacing the values in the test plan. So I think she might try one more. Let's see. Number 5, is she going to do it? Oh, she did it. Okay, so let's see if it works. So you can see these are the JSON path extractors she's inserted, and you can see where the error happened. So it was error at step number 005, which is this one. So you can see she's inserted all the variables in here. Now, there were also errors at other steps. So if you look at other steps, there might be some insertions there as well. Yeah, so here as well. And you can see she's correlated everywhere in the test plan where she found those values. But there's a bit of intelligence because she doesn't just blindly. So, for example, there was a 1 in the user ID, but she hasn't put a 1 here, for example. Right? She's just put it there. So she knows where to put things with a bit of intelligence. And so if we run it again now, there might still be some errors because we haven't fully correlated. So she only deals with the first error, one at a time. So now another error. So she's detected a candidate, and she's found something, I think, and she's going to try and correlate it. And this time it's not JSON, it's a regular expression. So it's because it's not JSON, and we need to build a regular expression. We send it to another agent who builds that regular expression. And but yeah, she's effectively done it. So, and look, she's handled a new line, and she's ignoring symbols and things like that. So I've been working on edge cases to make it a little bit more resilient to be able to handle different types of situations like new lines, weird symbols. I'm working on large payloads at the moment. That should now work. So she's correlated the last error. So if you play it back again, we'll see. Hey, it works. So this is basically, I haven't done anything. All I've done is I've said, send the errors to LoadMagic, and then I just play it, and then it should just automatically take care of it for you. So, and you just play it once, and that should then deal with the errors at that step. And then if there's more correlation to do later in the script, play it again, and another error will come up, and it will try and fix it for you automatically. So that's how the correlation part works. So I can show you more. There's the sort of scripting for Suzy is quite useful. So you can generate code from text. So you have to bear in mind that at the moment, the agents don't have the full context of the test plan. They only have that, you know, what they need at the time to perform a particular task. So, for example, Carrie, when she's resolving correlation problems, she only gets sent the problem at that point in the flow, and then she can then use tools to interrogate the test plan, but they don't know instinctively what's where in the test plan. So if I said to, you know, Susie, you know, if I assume that she knows the test plan, then it's not going to work. I have to tell her at the moment where things are. I'm working on that. So I'm working on a way to give them more intelligence, so that they know what's in the test plan. But yeah, so if you wanted to just generate some code from text, you can just put it on generate, type what you want, and then just say, you know, generate a random person, last name, and assign to JMeter vars first and last. That's the one I like to do because I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. But if you just hit return, then what happens is she'll generate that code and automatically insert it wherever you had selected in the test plan. So I think I was at the variables, so she's inserted it underneath there. So now you can move it, put it where you want. I'll put it in the wrong place, and then I'm just going to put a debug sampler. So you can then see the values come back. But basically, here's the code. So she inserts a Groovy script. It's always Groovy just because it's more efficient in JMeter at the moment. And then, yeah, so that should work normally. Then we can see it running. Let's see if it works. So if I clear that, yeah, so it's no error. And if we look at, yeah, there's a first name and there's a last name. So she generated that successfully. But if you break it, so for example, you know, do this, just randomly break stuff, delete things, add random things, and if you run it again, that will generate an error. So there you go, there's an error. It automatically goes to fixed mode, right? Because it's been sent to, and it's been detected as a script error, as a coding, you know, Groovy error, that type of sampler, as opposed to a correlation error. So automatically it will know the difference between, oh, this is a correlation or this is a script. If it's script error, it goes to Susie, fixed mode, and she's fixed it. So she automatically will fix it. If you have the, you know, send errors to LoadMagic, she'll automatically fix it. She keeps it, so she doesn't replace it. So you can go back to the original. She just disables it, and then she creates a new version of it that works based on her interpretation of what she thinks it should look like. And now, if we run it again, I haven't done any coding, and let's see. So we've got a first name and a last name. So she's fixed it. So it's self-healing. So you don't have to write any code. She will fix, even if she makes a mistake, sometimes she might not get it right the first time. But she'll self-heal. So she'll look at her own code and go, oh, yeah, that bit, maybe I need to, you know, and she'll fix it. Now, at the moment, there's a window, there's a token limit. So we can, I think we worked out, we can probably do about 1,000 lines of code in script. So anything more than that, then you might run into like limits of how much you can do in one go. But I find that it's quite rare to want to do more than 1,000 lines of code for JMeter. But and you can maybe the solution would be to break it into smaller chunks. So you would, you know, maybe have smaller scripts, which is probably better practice anyway. And then, so there's different, so you've seen generate, you've seen fix, and there's also convert. So converting from another tool. So for example, I use that quite a lot when we were converting from Neoload, where everything was written in JavaScript and we needed to convert to Groovy. So then your instruction there, and just paste your code in the input script bit, and then again, send it off and she'll convert. So she automatically detect what language it is. And then, you know, she knows most languages. I mean, there's probably limits, you know, but any sort of tools, like if you're converting from one tool to another, she should know those languages. Well, I'll be honest, I haven't tested C. I need to test C with. But so she's pretty good with JavaScript and converting it to Groovy. Obviously, you need to give her instructions to give her the right context. So you need to say, okay, with this script, you know, keep all the variables name the same, and you know, keep the same logic, but make it work with this. You know, just to give her enough context so that she knows how to convert. But yeah, you could put some Python in there. So if you were converting from, I don't know, Locust uses Python, you could paste some Python in there and ask her to convert it, and then she'll create you know, some code here, and then you can insert it. There's a final thing, which is you can manually do the regex, but I find I don't really tend to use that as much. But if you, say, for example, wanted to generate a regular expression that worked quickly for JMeter, because JMeter is a bit weird, it has its own sort of rules about how regular expressions work. So this agent is using the correlation flow. His name's Rupert, and he's really good at JMeter regular expressions. So if you ever had, I don't know, we can take an example here. So here's some HTTP, right? And I know this is a token that we might need. So for example, you could take a copy of that, put it in there, and you could say to Rupert, let's get the value for test ID. Right, so just in English, ask it for what you want to extract, right? And then he should come back with a regular expression that will work for this HTTP snippet. So you see, I just cut and paste it from a response, and now he's created a regex, which is down here. See, it should be quite a decent regex to capture that value. Actually, I'm slightly disappointed. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, so here, that's something I need to fix because okay, this is good. Fine. All right, hold on, let me make a note. So yeah, so you can see in the window there's the correct regex, but down below it's incorrect because it's taken out the new line. And then, so here in the chat, we'd be talking to George normally. It's also used for keeping track of talking to Carrie during the correlation process. But yeah, it's also George's main interface. So George is trained with all the latest JMeter API documentation. So it can take him a while to answer because he's going off and he's reading it, but he's not too bad. Like, he normally comes back within about 30 seconds. And when he does come back, fairly accurate because it's based on that documentation. So if you have a JMeter specific question, it could be, I don't know, how to run a distributed test with a single slave. Yeah. So something like that. And he should come back within about 30 seconds, like a full answer, and he should have like step by step, what you need to do. There you go. So he's come back with everything. So prerequisites, configuring the client, starting the slave, running the test from the client, etc. Common pitfalls, and then a sort of quick checklist, I think. There's more. You can also do things in the visualizer. So, for example, when you can correlate directly from here, so manually. So, for example, if it's JSON coming back and you wanted to say correlate a value, say the success value or the user ID, you could just add an extractor straight from here. So you can just click on it, and there you go. It's automatically inserted an extractor. That's without AI, so it won't use your credits. Right, that's just code because it's always like straightforward. It's a path. I'll recommend, if it's JSON, always use JSON path extractors if you can. A lot more reliable. So that's one thing you can do, another thing you can do. And there's a similar sort of thing with regex. So if it's not JSON, or for whatever reason you wanted to create a regular expression because you want to do something a bit unusual, then you can do it like this. So let's go for one that isn't JSON. So for example, yeah, this one. If I wanted to, I don't know, grab something in, maybe as date, for example, right? So I could double click in there and drag my boundaries, and then, I don't know if this is a really good example, but and then you just go confirm boundaries, and then you can either just insert it and then code will generate it. Again, no AI, no credits, completely free, or you can send it to AI. So you can go, let's send it to, I think Rupert does this. Yeah, it's because it's a regex, and that's just basically, yeah, it will then insert. It should have inserted, yeah, that one. So it's inserted. Actually, that's not very good. That doesn't look like it works. So I might need to look at that. It should be better than that. Anyway, so I'm to have a look at the regex from the visualizer. But that should work even like that. And that was just me messing around. So let's get rid of that. Delete, remove. Yeah. So I think that covers most of the things.